Hello, Lamai. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Lamai?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, great. So, in the last week, we learned about vernier caliper. So that we learned about the scale and we learned about how to read, how to rate like external reading and internal reading and depth and everything. And we found like did like many exam related questions, past paper questions, and model paper questions, and many more. But we found one thing in a standard vernier caliper, we had some limitations. What are those limitations? Because in a standard vernier caliper, we have a range of what? 1 centimeter to 10 centimeter. So there are things called extended vernier calipers as well. It increases some of the reading up to like 0.2 millimeter, 0.1 millimeter, sorry, like that. But the problem is when the reading is going to get even more extended, it is really hard to read. So that means vernier caliper is typically really not good for measuring something below 1 centimeter. Isn't that? So how to measure something below 1 centimeter? Then we have to find out a certain alternative method for measuring small objects. For this object, it is really suitable. But if this was a regular pencil is somewhere like 0.6 millimeter. No? So this vernier caliper is capable now measuring that thickness or thickness of a copper wire. Is that capable? Technically, we can say it is not capable because we have an error margin. What is the maximum possible error margin? It is just going to be a 1%. 1% is the allowed error margin. So if we measure something like this will definitely induce certain higher rate of error. I told you why we exactly care about these error stuff in the last week because it is really essential. Very recently, India. What did India achieve in the last week? India, මොකද කරේ? Huh? Can't you speak? India successfully landed a lunar craft to where? Southern hemisphere of the moon. So they are launched a rocket called spacecraft called Chandrayaan-3 and let them to land over there. Actually, I can't exactly remember the year. They tried the same thing few years back. They failed. Actually, the lunar craft fell on the moon surface. Again, fell on the moon surface means they did like without caring. No, they put all the maximum effort. But something very narrow margin, even undetectable, had gone wrong. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට ඇහැට පේන්නේ නැති level එකේ අවුලක් වුණත් ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් scientifically ලොකු project එකක් කරද්දී. Because can you imagine India is the fourth nation to land successfully on moon. Wow. America, Russia, China, and India. So that means, can you imagine how precise it should be? Those rich countries like France, German, they couldn't do. So it is exactly, you have to maintain really high accuracy. So in regular physics experiment, the maximum possible margin of error is limited to, what is the limitation? 1%, right? It is limited to 1%. So we have that error margin. So dividing vernier scale to further division can be done even in the vernier caliper I gave to you, this one has like 20 divisions, 20 more divisions. So this is easy, but hard to read. So that means vernier caliper is something not suitable to measure something lower than, 1 centimeter or 10 millimeter. Something lower than 1 centimeter or 10 centimeter is not technically suitable. So we have to apply some other alternative method to find out readings, to read readings below 1 centimeter. There are many, not only vernier, not only the one I'm going to discuss today. There are many methods, but we have to find out somehow certain alternative method than standard regular vernier caliper. Meter ruler is not carrying at all. Meter ruler ගන්නම. Right. So do you have any idea now? Okay. What should be the instrument that we are talking about now? Can you name any instrument that is going to tally with this case? Can you name any instrument? Hello? Yeah. That is our friend micrometer screw gauge. Right. We have to deal with something called micrometer screw gauge. Let me show you. In our A-level scope, we have to deal with two. We have to deal with two screw devices work under screw principle. Right? This firstly we have to learn what is screw principle. Then we have to learn the one called micrometer screw gauge. This one, right? This simple gadget and this complicated gadget. According to the way this looks more complicated, but the applications, this will be really hard to use. That's why I'm going to send you exactly somewhere like 90% accuracy copy of this one to you. vernier එක එවුවා වගේම මේකත් මම එවනවා. හැබැයි මයික්‍රෝමීටර් නම් එවන්න විදියක් නැහැ. මාර එක්ස්පෙන්සිව්. හිතා ගන්නවත් බැහැ. හරි. ඉතින් ඒක මට මෙතන තමයි පෙන්වන්න වෙන්නේ. So this one I will be sending you mostly by within 10 days. So we can discuss this one and how to apply everything, because this is really hard thing. It is not really hard, but for many students, they don't have the spatial recognition. You know, one thing in the IQ, art, music, everything is IQ, no? There is a special section called spatial recognition. සමහරුන්ට මෙතන ඉඳන් මේ වම් පැත්තේ කවුරුහරි කියොත් වමේ දකින්න කියලා හොයාගන්න. They are very hardly struggling with spatial recognition. So spatial recognition එක අඩු අයටත් එක්ක තේරුම් ගන්න නැත්නම් ඉතින් මේක මහ ලොකු පජ්ජක් නෙමෙයි. It's not a big deal. Okay, there are two instruments that we have to talk here, discuss here, learn here, practice more. One is the first one, that is micrometer screw gauge. Other one is spirometer. First of all, we have to learn the concept called screw principle. Right? Firstly, we have to learn screw principle. First of all, I asked you in the last week, you to use a certain what? Screw. I asked you to use certain screw. Find out a screw and use it yourself. This is a good screw itself. Let me show you. Behind the marker pen, you may see the threads are there. I ask you, whatever the screw you may find, nut and bolt, try to tighten, release it, tighten, release it. Because I know that some of the girls may have never seen what is the screw even. So it's going to be really tough for them to understand what is this screw first of all. ඉන්නවනේ හැම හදෙන් බහැලා වගේ ආපු ළමයි ඉන්නවනේ. So that's the reason. By the way, Let me show you one thing. Here we have to learn the process of micrometer screw gauge name. Now write a very big topic called screw principle. Is it? Screw principle. Screw principle. Screw principle. Screw principle. By the way, Ramai, what is screw principle? You have any idea in your head? තියෙනවද මොකක් හරි idea එකක් regarding screw principle? Do you have? Okay. Give me a 1 second. I want to check one thing. There are one or two new ones here. I have never seen them in my regular class. So I'm asking from you because in my class I've never done this one yet. In the other students, have you done this lesson already or not? තග්ගල message එකක් දාන්න උද නැද්ද කියලා. Yes නම් yes, no නම් no. Those who were not in my class. කෙනෙක් දෙනෙක් වගේ ඉන්නේ. No, I'm not talking about school. You have done in the school, no? Your school. I know that your school started already. Okay, by the way, screw principle. Firstly, write the definition of the screw principle, very important with the hashtag. Right? Dividing the length of pitch. Dividing the length of pitch into equal divisions. Into equal divisions. Equal divisions. Equal divisions of equal divisions of circular scale. Circular scale. Circular scale. Yeah, I will repeat. Dividing the length of pitch. You don't know what is pitch yet. Pitch into equal divisions. Equal divisions of the circular scale. Equal divisions of certain number of divisions. Certain number of divisions in a circular scale. Circular scale is known as screw principle. By the way, you heard many new words. First one is pitch. Those cricket lovers only know one pitch, cricket pitch. That pitch, cricket pitch. And music lovers, they know one pitch called like what music song, like that pitch. But here in physics, we have to learn another type of pitch. Okay. Do you have any idea what is that pitch is all about? A pitch එක මොකද කියලා පොඩි idea එකක් තියෙනවද? Do you have any idea about the pitch? What I'm talking about? Pitch. Okay. First of all, let me draw a regular nut and ball. In a regular ball, you can see There are threads like this. Right? There are threads like this. So see, if I just start with this line, line 1, the adjacent line as line 2. So the separation between these two lines, X is known as what? Pitch. But the separation between two adjacent lines in a bolt screw is known as pitch. You might see this one. They not done. So see, one line, the adjacent line, the distance between these two lines is known as the pitch. Can you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now write this in a new line. The screw principle is basically depending on width, length of the pitch, length of the pitch of the screw. Open a bracket and write bolt. මෙන්න මේ යනවලට අපි කියන්නේ bolt කියලා.
Sir, can you repeat?
The principle of screw devices basically depending on width, the length of the pitch. සමහරුන්ට මෙන්න මේ basic නොදී යනවා. I have seen in many classes they don't teach these basics. But without basic, if you find hard question, done na? Right. ඒ නිසා basics ටික හොඳට අල්ලගමු time එක අරගෙන බය වෙන්න එපා. I will explain you everything. Then let's go for the hard questions like exam questions and everything. Okay. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ ඉරි දෙකක්. Right. Now write subtopic pitch. Subtopic pitch. Pitch of a bolt. You may write like pitch of a bolt, no problem. Just pitch of a bolt. If you don't learn these things well, you will have to end up like pitch a karan. Okay, pitch. What is pitch? Write the definition. Oh, you sent me a message. Can you resend the message again? Can you just resend the message again? So how many lines you wrote so far? How many lines you wrote so far? Lamai, let me know. How many lines you wrote so far? Itu rule kiyala ලියලාද කියන්නකෝ. 4 lines.
4 lines.
On yeah, 6 lines. Okay, by the way, is that on A4, sorry, CR size book or small book? Taggala දාන්න. Madhuruksan, is that a CR book? Yeah, CR, right. It's about 6 lines. Just leave that space and start to write this. I will ask one of your fellow students to take a photograph and send it to me or send it to the Zoom chat. Whatever, you will get it and you can write it later. Arne? Leave a space of 6 lines and continue. Because saying that again right from the beginning is not going to help. Okay, write the definition of pitch. The distance between two adjacent lines in a screw, in a screw bolt. Screw bolt is known as pitch. This is what a screw bolt. So copy this diagram. Line 1 and line 2, the difference between these two is known as a pitch. Copy this diagram. Until then, I will bring a screw. The screw principle. Understand? Did you copy this one? Right, for some unusual reason, don't know why. Okay, did you copy? By the way, make a mock tadai. Can it? This is a normal regular screw. You might not see the stuff. This is bolt. I can fix this there and rotates gently until it's to pass through this one. This doesn't pass through because for some weird reason, I don't know. So I will demonstrate that using my mark. So one line. So it is distinguishable line. So there are some stations. One state, one rotation. It will move some equal distance equals to what? One of these pitch. Now write this in a new line. Pitch can be defined in the following way as well. Pitch can be defined in the following way as well. What is the following way? Now write it like this. The distance moved by a screw due to rotation of one complete cycle is known as pitch. ඔය විදිහට කියන්න පුළුවන්. So once it rotates by exactly one cycle, if you start it from here, once you complete it to here, it will exactly move between the distance of these two lines. හරි නේද? කියන එක වටයක් කරගෙනදී හරියටම pitch එකක් ඉස්සරහට යනවා. Can you understand that? Do you need me to explain more? So that means if you make a scale according to the size of what? Size of the length of this screw thread. Then කීයෙන් කී දෙනෙක් කරාද කියන්නකෝ. මට කියන්න message එකක් දාලම don't raise your hand, I can't see. So tell me how many of you tried to rotate that type of screw as I requested you to do? කී දෙනෙක් කරලා බලුවද? You did. Very good, Senetma. Others? You did too. Okay, very good. Kidursana, Senanga, Niyamai. Tiloksana, very good. Ati. Kerala. Right. So you can see it has some specific but equal distancing. මේකේ equal distancing තියනවා නේද? So you can see the pitch is having some equal distancing. හරි සමාන දුරවල් තියෙන්නේ. තේරුණාද? If you observe a screw you can see. So you can get the distance between these two threads as a proper scale. එක සමාන ඉරිනේ වදින්නේ. You get what? Similar, parallel, equal distance, equal spaced lines. Isn't that the proper scale now? Yes or no? Isn't that a proper scale? හවුද නැද්ද? Huh? Yeah. That's a proper scale. Normally, write this in a new line. If we consider the length of a one pitch, we consider the length of a one pitch as x. It can be 1 millimeter, 0.5 millimeter, whatever itself, doesn't matter. 1 millimeter, whatever it can be, the distance of x. How to divide this into capital N. Put that in the inverted bracket, commas. Capital N number of divisions in capital N number of divisions in circular scale. Open a bracket and write head scale. Because somebody used to call it as head. Why do we call it as the head? Because this is a screw. මේ පේනවනේ හොඳට පැහැදිලිව screw එකක් තියෙන්නේ කියලානේ. I can unscrew and show you. පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න. I will unscrew that and show you. Give me 1 second. This is a screw. එහෙමනේ. screw එකක් නේ මේ වැඩිපුර මේ plate එකක් දාලා ඉවරලා. That's the only difference. So there is a nut there. So as you rotate, you can see it will move through the arming. The most wanted. Forget about this plate. And if you consider only this part and the screw itself, this part is called as head of the screw. This thing, this one is known as the head of the screw. I think head screw right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to fix. There is a scale associate with what? There's a scale associate with the head. That is why we call this one as it is circular, as well as we can call it like head scale. Can you understand what I'm talking about? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Clear. Very good. ඔන්නම කතා කරන්න මාත් හරි ආසයි. ඔයාලා කතා කරනවා. Otherwise, I feel like I'm a madman. I'm just ඉස්සනේ තමයි කියවන්නේ. මට එහෙම නෑ. ඒත් මම ඒකට ආස නැහැ. So speak up. Right. Have a good look at now. So now what we have to do is I have to divide. I will leave this and I will come to this part. I have to make a circular scale now. Getting a circle and divide that into starting from 0, like drawing many lines, and it can be ended here like 90. So 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100 is again 0. Like that, I can separate this into how many parts? 100 such parts. තේරුණාද මන්ද? Can you see the number here? Right now, that number is 90. Right? 90 means next again 0. 0 means what? It has completed 100 line. Sometimes we divide it to 100 or sometimes let me draw another cycle. Or we divide some 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 50 or 100 divisions. Are you clear on this point? මේ point එක තේරුණාද?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You might not understand really perfectly yet. I have a way to explain you that. Let me show you. This device, you might not see this one because it is too small. Even in physical, even when you have it on hand, I have to use like a small, simple microscope, like a hand lens to see these lines enlarged. So I have a better idea. I am always coming up with good ideas. So I will show you with simple and simple looking idea. So this one is like the model of this. Forget about that. I want to show you one thing. So now see, you don't still know what is this part yet. It is called an anvil and spindle. This part is known as anvil and this one is spindle. But I want to show you one magic. I am going to rotate this because there is a ball nut is there, and this ball I am going to rotate this. See what happened now? As I rotate, can you see what does it happen? මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? What does it happen? මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? මගේ ඇස් ඉස්සරහා පේන්නේ මොකක්ද? What do you see? The screw is going back. Not only the screw, the entire set is with this disc going back. As it rotates, you can see it linearly. This one performs some rotational motion, while this axle move forward or coming back, move forward or coming back. There is a linear motion also performing parallelly with this rotational motion. Okay, let me totally unscrew that. Okay, now I divide this into how many? This is a CD. So 0, 10, sorry, it 0, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and again comes back to 100. You have to understand one thing. Normally, the scale is rotated in what direction? It is, if you want to get the, consider this index finger as the index. Right now, from front face, it should rotate in the clockwise. See, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. I gave you a worksheet, questions in the worksheet as well to check your understanding. Worksheet again. Let's look at that one later. Now, can you understand? It should rotate in clockwise direction according to this axes. This is for the micrometer screw gauge, but in the spirometer it is opposite. In the spirometer, the scale is anti-clockwise. See, it is anti-clockwise. 0. You can see it is anti-clockwise, but in micrometer screw gauge, it is clockwise. Can you understand this? Or do I have to explain one more time? මොකද මේක හරියට තේරුම් ගත්තේ නැත්නම් MCQ විනාශයි. Okay.
Clear, sir.
Okay, very recently concluded EdXL London A level. One of my students who just got screwed, English spelling screwed කියන වෙනම වචනයක් because he couldn't understand this screw principle. His marks were like 57 out of 60 for the third paper. 57 out of 60 for the third paper. Only question he went wrong is reading the micrometer screw gauge because he forgot that scale is given in clockwise direction. He only remembered it like, yeah, you need me to explain you the clockwise thing again. Wait, I will explain you. Have a good look at this. All the markings are given in, if I rotate clockwise direction, see, ඔයාලගේ පැත්තෙන් බලන්න ඔරලෝසුව කටු කරගෙන පැත්තට වෙනවා නම් it is then only you can get the advancing, that means increasing numbers from 0, 10, 20. If I rotate in anti-clockwise, you can see that descending order 100, 90, 80. Can you understand? You have to count in forward direction, no, not in the backward direction. So to get increasing number ascending order, the rotation should be performed in what direction? Clockwise. Can you understand? This essential point to understand. හරිද? Okay ළමයි? Hello.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now I will get that again and explain you. Now right. So the least count of a screw device can be find out in the following way. Vernier එකේ එන කතන්දරනේ. We had to find out the main scale, least count of the vernier scale, then subtract by the least count of the main scale by least count of the vernier scale and find out the equation. It was a long process, but this one is a new concept, but easier to find out least count of the main scale. Now, right, the topic is least count of the least count of a screw device. Now, right, least count of the screw device can be found in the following manner. Least count equals to main scale division, MSD, minus Dhoni. Or we can call it like what? Somebody can call it like pitch scale. Wait. I will get it like pitch scale. Name pitch. Pitch over number of lines in circular scale. Least count of the device is really easy to find out. The pitch means what? The distance between those two linings. Right. Least count equals to pitch divided by number of lines of circular scale. Copy that. Number of lines of circular scale. Okay, ළමයි? Can you just understand that? Can you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, I can write the symbol wise equation. Least count equals to pitch. Sorry, I can write it like x. I told you to get the x pitch as x over n. Very simple. X over n. Huh. I hope you understood. Okay, shall we check your understanding then? Shall we just check your understanding? Hmm? Right, the first one, I'm going to give you like an example question. Write that as the example number one. A screw device. A screw device is consist of pitch, a pitch having length of 1 millimeter and the circular scale of 100 equal divisions. 100 equal divisions. Find out the least count of what? The screw device. Then there are the micrometer එක ලේසි කියලා. Very good Amsi. Kirdusana Maru. Brinda, very good. තව ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඔව්. සෙනෙත් මා නියමයි. ඔපේසානි නියමයි. You didn't mention the units. Very bad. Very bad. You have to mention the unit as well. 0.01. But what? කජු ඇටද කොස් ඇටද? Millimeters. Really good. Okay. Great. ඇති. Enough. So the way is applying to this equation 1 millimeter over 100. So your answer is 0.01 millimeter. Is damn easy. Ne? Isn't that very damn easy? Say yes. हो गया ना?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now the second question. Example number 2. The example number 2 is there is another what? So, sorry. What is it called? The screw device consists of pitch of 0.5 millimeter. 0.5 millimeter. 0.5 millimeter. And there are 50 divisions. There are 50 divisions. There are 50 divisions in the circular scale. There are 50 divisions in the circular scale. Find out the least count of the instrument. මම කියන්න කලින් ළමයි හදලා. Really good, really good. හරි. ඇති. මම දන්නවා ළමයින්ට පුළුවන්. Enough. More than enough. Very good. Have a look at here. Now I'm going to apply x is 0.5 millimeter. I'm going to divide into 50 equal parts. You get like 0.01 millimeter. Am I clear to you, everybody? හැමෝටම මම කියපු එක තේරුණාද?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, isn't it way easier than finding the least count of this horrible and stupid instrument called vernier caliper? Yes, ne? මේක ගොඩක් අමාරුයි මම එකයි මේක ටික ඔයාලට පාර්සල් කරලා එව්වේ. This is why I sent you personal vernier calipers to you too. Hari. I need to understand, I need to explain you one thing to you. I need to explain one thing to you. So far, we learned like micrometer screw gauge. Today we are going to learn, and this vernier caliper. These are really new to you. Yeah, vernier simple equation no sir කියලා. ඔව් ඒකත් simple තමයි simple කෙනාට. ඔක capital වෙච්ච කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා මේකේ. නැත්තේ නෑ. Only for you or few others. But there are one or two students, they struggle to understand what is vernier. That's why I'm telling you. සෙනුරයා නම් ඉතින් මට මාරු විදිහට වද දෙදී ප්‍රශ්න අහන එකෙක් නේ. ඇන්ට ඒක අමාරු වෙන්න විදියක් නැහැ. So, by the way, and you will get this one. This is even bit horrible than this. පොඩ්ඩක් horrible. වැඩි හිතන්න එපා. ඒකයි මම එකක් එවන්නේ. That's why I'm sending you this type of prototype of this. And after that, there is a thing called traveling microscope. ඔය ටික කරලා ඉවර වෙනකොට ළමයි මෙහෙම ඉන්නේ. Because this is not physics. මේ physics නෙමෙයි අපි තාම ඉගෙන ගන්න home science වගේ දෙයක්. Because vernier instrument is widely used by those guys called what is called lathe machine workers. O level fail වෙච්ච කට්ටියත් ගිහිල්ලා වැඩේ කරනවා lathe machine. ඉතින් එයාලත් දන්න දෙයක්. Technical. Actual aim of government is to dishearten many what? Science students in the first lesson. එපා කරවන්න දාපු lesson එකක් තමයි මේ. ඉතින් අපි ආණ්ඩුවට ඉඩ දෙනවද? අපි win කරනවද? After that, we are going to start linear motion. That means grade 10 motion with few modifications. Let me show you. In your grade 10, you learned like distance, time, velocity equals to distance over time, displacement over time. And you learned another thing, acceleration equals to velocity over time. Right? These things are really familiar for you. Make a body extension එකක් තියෙනවා. We have four equations instead of this. V equals U plus AT, S equals to UT plus half AT square. But the concept is not what unusual for you, and you will find anything like V square equals U square plus 2S, and S equals to U plus D over 2 times T. But if I tell you one thing, we had all of these four equations in our grade 10. මම 10 වසරේ ඉන්නකොට අපිට ඔය equation හතර තිබුණා. But it got changed back in the 2016 වලින් පස්සේද කොහෙද ඔක change වුණා. හරි syllabus එක මාරු වුණා. So your syllabus, you didn't have these things in grade 10. Actually, this was our grade 10. Mama grade 10 වල ඉද්දි මට තිබිච්ච equation හතරක්. These are really simple. You have seen finding the distance, finding time. But have you ever seen this gadget before A-level? No. Have you ever seen this gadget before A-level? No. I think the government gives like a certain idea about this. They say we need technical people as well. Yeah, that might be their motive as well, or to dishearten. Who knows? How then? But you are not deserved to get what? Disheartened by these things. Actually, O level fail වෙච්ච මිනිස්සු පවා මේක ලස්සනට ඉගෙන ගන්නවා නම් ඔයාලට මේක නැති. But within few weeks, we are going to learn our usual physics with more flavor. අපි ඔකට flavor එකක් දාන එක විතරයි කරන්නේ. Normal physics what we used to do and make it තියනවා electricity with few equations to modify. That's it. සති දෙක තුනක් ඉවසලා ඉන්න මේ කතන්දරේ ඉවර වෙනකම්. Then you will find again usual physics. We are still learning not physics, something like home science. අකමැත්තෙන් වුණත් home science ඉගෙන ගන්න වෙනවයි. Your first term test will be filled with all of these. නේද? අම්ෂි කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්ද අම්ෂි? අම්ෂි ඉන්නවද? අම්ෂි ටකස් නම් ගානවා එහෙනම්. අම්ෂි
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, you had your term test recently, term test or unit test or something, because he's in a private school. Amsi?
Yes, sir.
So, what lessons came in the first unit test actually?
About measurements and vectors, we just started.
Vectors වලින් නම් පොඩ්ඩයි ආමුනේ කියලා මට කිව්වා. ඔයාගේ යාළුවා තරුසි.
Yes, sir.
හරි. Can you understand? They have done up to vectors. There is something called vectors. Vectors කියන්නේ මහ ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. ඔය sin cos tan දාලා කරන පොඩි දෙල්ලමක්. ඒක මම කියලා දෙන්නම්. So, measuring instrument වලින් පුරවනවා. They will feel everything from these instruments. ඒක නිසා පොඩ්ඩක් බර දාලා ඉගෙන ගන්න. This is not physics මේ physics නෙමෙයි මේ home science, but we have to. ඒක නිසා පොඩ්ඩක් අකමැත්තෙන් වුණා home science ටිකක් ඉගෙන ගන්න. Right. Now the concept is in your head. Your concept of least count is in your head. Now that's why this was really easy for you to understand. Now right near this point in new line, there are two basic types of what? Types of devices. According to, there are two types of devices according to the screw principle in our A-level syllabus. What are those two? Number one, micrometer screw gauge. Micrometer screw gauge. And number two, spherometer. Spherometer. ස්පෙරෝමීටර් කියන එක නම් අනිත් කොහෙවත් සිලබස් වල නැහැ. මෙහෙ දාලා එක්සෑම් එක වඩා අමාරු කරන්නම තමයි. Micrometer is there in the London syllabus even. ඒක හැමතැනම තියෙනවා. But spherometer is we only find that in our local syllabus and universities. Universities වල තියෙනවා. Only in A-level scope I found that in our local syllabus even only. මෙයාගෙන් අපි කිසිම රේටින් එකක් ගන්නෙ නැහැ A-level වලදී. දාලා තියෙන්නේ මේක අමාරු කරන්නම විතරයි. වෙන කිසි දෙයක්වත් නෙමෙයි. Only purpose of making it hard, nothing else. We don't take any reading using spherometer, but micrometer is really essential. Spherometer. Okay, now write the first subtopic, micrometer screw gauge. And in micrometer screw gauge thingy, wait. You have to go to the page number 17 of the tube here. Not now, right? After I saying these lines, you have to draw that diagram. Not now. At your home, alone, take your time and draw it, because we don't have much time to waste here. because you may at least take 15 minutes to draw this one now. Hurry. So now, write this thing. Micrometer screw gauge is normally having the scale of 1 millimeter in the pitch scale, and 100 equal divisions, in the circular scale. Or what? 0.5 millimeter in the pitch scale and 50 divisions in the circular scale. Hurry. Now write this in a new line. So the least count of micrometer screw gauge is 0.01 millimeter. Okay, give me a 1 second. Give me just a 1 second. Right. I'm trying to measure this diameter of a bead using this one. Let me try. You can see it is like somewhere like 5 millimeters. Millimeter pahaka vitara podi gana. But according to your knowledge, can you tell me, can I measure 5 millimeter reading using vernier caliper? Yes or no? Technically no, because why? Margin of error is really high. So I can't. I have to leave it. Now I have this coin. I am going to take the diameter of this coin. You can clearly see that it is somewhere like 23 millimeters. Can I read this? Yes, without any difficulty, because why? 23 millimeter is greater than of 10 millimeter. This is the minimum margin. So you can. But this is smaller than of 10 millimeter margin. So you can't. Now I am about to find out diameter of this one. Sorry, thickness of the coin. I will get 1 millimeter and certain unknown reading. According to this one, it is like 1.9 millimeter. My reading is 1.9 millimeter. 1.9 millimeter. This is way smaller than 10 millimeter. Absolutely having really high margin of error. So technically, I can't. This is forbidden. So last, I have to try. What is my savior then? I have to get the thickness of this coin to find out the density of the coin. No, whatever. What is my opinion now? Yes, this savior. You don't know how to read that yet. That's the biggest problem. Otherwise, this is the device. This is the device. Yeah. Madhuruksan, really good method. Really good method you said. And I was just about to ask you that even. So, if you are only provided with vernier caliper, you are still wanting to find out the thickness of this coin. How can you do? Madhuriksan said before me to ask. How can you do? Hmm? How can you do? Hello, Lamai. Madhuriksan, can you put your same answer to everyone? Everyone deserves to see that answer. Yeah, Amsi, you are really good. ඔයාලට ස්කූල් එකේ හැබැයි කරානේ. Yeah. Opesani Tavis are really good. I was just ready to. No. Not increasing the number of divisions. Regular vernier caliper, but how to measure? How? මම මේක එතකන් unscrew කරන්නම් ගැලවිලා අතට එන ගන්නටම. There is a reason for doing that. පරිස්සමින් කරන්න ඕනේ ගැලවිලා આવොත් මේක කැඩෙනවා. Yes, Madhuruksan හැමෝටම පේනනේ දැන් මේ. අන්න look at Madhuruksan's answer. Can you see there is screw එක පොඩ ඇතුලෙන් වැහිලා තියෙන්නේ. See, there is a screw, there is the nut. nut එකේ පොඩි threads ටික පේනවා ඇතිනේ. Okay. Now you have to take what මේවා අහනවා exam එකේදී අවුවත් ලියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මේ දේවල් සර්ලා උගන්වන්නෙත් නෑ common sense. You have to take a stack of coins together and divide it. So measure using vernier caliper. Now get the reading and divide that by number of coins. You have to find out the thickness. Thickness equals to reading divided by number of coins. ඕනනම් කොනක ලියා ගන්න. මේවා note එකක් විදිහට ගන්නවට වඩා ඔළුවේ ගන්න එක හොඳයි. Don't take it as a note. Take it only as your basic understanding and get it if you want to take it as a note. I'm not giving this as a note. This is basic, simple understanding. මේවා note හැටියට දෙද්දි මට නිකන් ලැජ්ජ හිතෙනවා ඒ level ළමයින්ට හොඳ දේවල් දෙන්න හොඳ නැහැ කියලා. Right. But if you don't have enough, now in my problem, I have ගෙදර ඇති තවරු පියල්ල දෙකේ වරුණා. තුන හතරක් ව. සමහර විට ගැටේ පුරවලා ඇති. මම දන්නේ නැහැ. මට නම් අහුනේ මේක විතරයි රුපියල් දෙකේ කාසියක. So if I only have this coin and I want to find out, then I can't use that silly vernier caliper any longer. How to use micrometer screw gauge or that one. But sperometer එකෙන් ඒකත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක මම පස්සේ කියලා දෙන්නම් දැන්. Okay. Now you have to keep your space for your page number 17. diagram in the page number 17 and complete it. And for today only students who joined today, for your convenient even I added something called on the spot worksheet. Diagram. If you are continuing, ask me to send you the original tute. හරිනේ ඒ ගැන හිතන්න එපා ඒක දවස් අවසානයේ decide කරන්න හදිස්සි වෙන්නත් එපා. And you have to write in your own handwritings this whole. This may take at least like 2 pages. Print නිසා 1 page වලට ලියද්දි 2 pages යනවා. I will today only explain one by one. I'm not going to give you this note. It is too long. You draw the diagram and add this note by your own handwriting. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ලියලා මට එවන්නත් ඕනේ. So spare like 2 pages from here. Want to draw this diagram and to copy this entire text. I will explain one by one. Don't worry. Right? Okay. Now only all the demons are coming in front of you. Okay. Now write this in a new line. The minimum, according to the least count, write this in a new line. According to the least count of the micrometer screw gauge, there is a minimum errorless measurable length. Now can you find yourself alone? පාඩතනියෙන් හොයන්න පුළුවන්ද? යන්නකො. මම කියලා දෙන්න. Don't worry. Can you find it yourself and let me know? මම හරි ආසයෙන් පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලන්න. Let me know. Yes, Ammar Rasik. Very good. I said, can you find the minimum measurable errorless reading of a micrometer screw gauge center set? Very good. But if you understood meter ruler, if you understood vernier caliper, you could easily do that. Oh, no. That's the least count, my dear. Least count and minimum errorless measurable length mean two different things. එහෙම පිළිම දෙකක්. Yeah, සෙනෙත් මගුල්. මට ඔක explain කරලම දැන් අපිට වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Least count of the device is something, minimum measurable length is a different thing. ඔයාලට personally මම ඕනනම් කියලා දෙන්නම් මට WhatsApp එකකින් message එකක් දාන්න class එක ඉවර වෙලා. Yeah, good. Hari, ඇති. Have a look at. We learned something. Can you remember? Percentage error equals to least count over reading times 100%. Can you remember this beautiful equation? Right. Can you remember the minimum errorless margin? I repeated that again in today. It is 1%. The percentage error is just 1%. We know. Least count, we know that it is 0.01 millimeter. So minimum reading we have to find. 1% equals to 0.01 millimeter over minimum reading by 100. 100%. Oh my God, Sudhamji. RM equals to what? 0.01 millimeter by 100, you get 1 millimeter only. Minimum measurable reading is 1 millimeter. කලින් මෙයාට පුළුවන් උපරිම කොච්චරද? This one could only read to 1 centimeter, but in this device it is 0.5 millimeter. Sorry, 5 millimeter, because accuracy is very high. But in regular standard vernier caliper, is only 1 millimeter. Sorry, 1 centimeter. That means 10 millimeters. This is high accurate now because we can measure up to 1 millimeter as the lowest errorless reading. I told you this one was like 1.9 millimeter, so I can easily measure. Hari, easily measure. This bead was like 0.5 millimeters. You can use. Sorry, not 5 millimeters. Hari neda? Understand? ළමයිනේ ආද? Clear? Okay. Now write this in a new line. Mechanism of micrometer screw gauge. Right. Before that, I want to explain you the parts of micrometer screw gauge. You draw this later, not now. Then අදින්න යන්න එපා මේක දිහා බලාගෙන. Right? It's something like this. There is a part here, this called anvil, and there is a part called spindle. This one is the one moving back and forth. And there is a thing called C-frame. And pitch scale. This one is called circular scale. This one is thimble. And this one is ratchet. Okay, I told you I'm going to explain all of these parts now. But you have to write the note at home, taking your time, slowly, හිමීට ලියන ගමන් තේරුම් ගන්න. This is what that C frame, it looks like a C. And there is a thing, this part is immovable. This one is called anvil. And this movable one, you can see now it is going to in contact with now sooner. That movable part is known as what? Spindle. It can move back and forth. And let me show you one thing, very important part. There is the main scale. You can see that this main scale is marked in 1 millimeter. There are some other micrometer screw gauges. They have like 0.5 millimeter. It is given in like this way. 1 millimeter space. In the bottom also 1 millimeter space. But it divides the millimeter to halves. නේ පේනව නේද? පොඩි කපටි කමකින් ඉරි දෙක පන්නලා දානවා. නැත්තම් මේකම දෙකට බෙදුවොත් පේන්නේ නැහැ දෙපැත්තෙන් දාන්න. So you can easily see that 1 millimeter space, but this is like with some gap, so it always that you like 0.5. That's how they make the 0.5 scale. This is like a very simple according to this one 1 millimeter scale. ලොකුවට පේනවද කියන්න මම දන්නේ නැහැ. පේනවනේ. There is a scale. So once the spindle move back and forth, this circular scale also move along with that. Then මම මේව start කරන්න කෙලින්ම completely. Now you can see this one is on with zero line of this one, on with the zero line of the main scale. එතකොට මෙයා errorless, actually errorless, පොඩ්ඩක්වත් errors නැහැ. Because I can just rotate this screw and make it until to errorless reading. That means I can make the zero error. මට zero error එක එහා මෙහා කරන්න පුළුවන්. Only the vernier calipers we don't have that facility, but here we have the facility. මට ඒක කරන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ. මේකේ පොඩ්ඩිම error එකක්වත් නැහැ. And there is the only this tube we have only function is to mark the what main scale and let the facility to this spindle to run. And there is the circular scale. The circular scale is marked on the thimble, and there is a part of the thimble being roughened. මේක නිකන් edge කපලා තියෙන්නේ අතට හොඳට අහු වෙන්න. If this was too smoothie, see, it is hard to hold by here, this point, because it's too smooth, but easy to hear because it's rough. And there is a part called ratchet, very important, very, very important. If you have already learned about this gadget, can you tell me why it is really important? Why ratchet is really important? තප්පරයක් දෙන්න වාට ඇයි කියලාත් පෙන්නන්න. මේක අර bicycle pump එකක තියෙන tube එකක්. Okay. Let me show you what happens to this one. If you see this carefully, I'm going to take the measurement. It is like 0.8 millimeters on here. So absolutely can't. But there is another problem here. But I can tighten this until to this to get D-shape. Shape එක අවුල් යනවා. හැබැයි this one is a very tough one, but it's still compress because this is not too stiff because rubber. එතකොට සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් එබෙනවා. It makes some deformation. Deformed means, do I get the real reading? Do I get the real reading then? Will I get the real reading? මම මේ කියපු එක තේරුම් නැත්නම් බලන්නකෝ. This is the tube. You hold it right from your device. You have to maintain the shape of that one to get the diameter. But unfortunately, if you compress too far, you move this too far. Now you make this shape like a weird shape. It was supposed to be like a circular surface. Now you get a D dash. It's a false result. Can you understand? ඔහොම එබුනොත් වැඩේ හරියන්නේ නැහැ. Can you understand? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Now let me explain you. Now I'm going to hold this in between here. Now it is nearly touching. See? Now I am going to use this ratchet. Once it firmly touch, could you hear any sound? Could you hear any sound?
Yes, sir.
What type of sound? What type of sound? tick. අන්න හරි. tick ගාලා සද්දයක් ඇහුණානේ. If you didn't hear this clearly. ඇහුණානේ? Huh? This makes us sure it is no longer going to compress because there is a mechanism. That mechanism has a maximum force to withstand. If the force exceeded, it is going to freely rotate. This spindle is not going to move further. And it lets us know hari hari navattapang ඇති කියලා. How? Emitting that ticker sound. It gives off some ticker sound. I will just rotate it again to you to understand. See? හරිනේ? That gives us some alarm. Stop. ඇති යකෝ ඇති කියලා කියනවා. දරලොම කිව්වා. හරි? ඔක කැඩෙයි කියලා කියනවා. Can you understand? I think I explained you more than you wanted to know about all of these parts. හරි නේද? Clear නේ?
Yes, sir.
Now let me explain you one last thing from here, and let's go for our usual lovable but board. Not now, wait. Right, now right. Taking readings using micrometer screw gauge. Taking readings using micrometer screw gauge. කොහොමද කරන්නේ? මෙයාගේ මැද්දට මොකක් හරි තිබ්බා. You have to measure. 1 minute. I have to show you one last thing. You can measure using this one. Thickness of a small wire. In those motor winding people, they have this type of thing. So see, using this one, you can exactly measure the thickness. You will hear the tick sound even. This one gives you like almost 1.65 millimeters. I can't measure this using a ruler or vernier because the range really high. This one facilitates. So we used to call the thickness technical word called gauge. Gauge of the wire. Right? Hari. මේ දේවල් පොඩ හොයලා බලන්න. Hari. Now everything I have to show you with this one is done. මේ තියෙන්නෙත් මම අර heat කියන lesson එක කරන්න ගෙනාපු gadget එකක් 23 ළමයි. Thermocouple. We also used to call this one as Peltier coolers. Those who interested in computer science, they know what is this. Okay. Now I'm going to erase this board. I'm going to explain you how to take readings. According to the, write this. Yeah, very good, Madhuruksan. Generate heat one side, release heat from the other side. That's why it is getting cooling. That is why it is get cooled. Now write this in a new line. Your brother had one of those. Okay. මම පොඩි ෆ්‍රිජ් එකකුත් හැදුවා කොරෝනා දවස්වල වෙන කරන්න දෙයක් නැතුව අම්මලිකමඩ ඔකක් ගෙනලා පොඩි ෆ්‍රිජ් එකකුත් හැදුවා. ෂූට් එකක් නිකන් ආතල් එකට. හොඳට කූල් වෙනවා. ඒක කොයි ලෝකෙත් දන්නෙත් නෑ දැන්. Okay, now right. A micrometer screw gauge normally consists of 1 millimeter main scale pitch scale. Sorry, 1 millimeter pitch scale or what? 0.5 millimeter pitch scale. 0 line. After that, 1, 5. So the other one is this type of mains. This type of main scale of which scale we call it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, this is how it is, but there is another how to make it 0.5. You can draw another 1 millimeter line, but having some delay of 0.5. Then always that 0.5 is going to repeat in between. Alright, can you understand? This is 1 millimeter pitch scale, and this is like 0.5 millimeter pitch scale. Copy this quickly. අද වලට මම මේක ඔක්කොම ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි කියලා දීලා යවන්නේ. කොළ කෑලිත් අඳලා තියෙන වීඩියෝවට නෙමෙයි පොඩි වැඩ ගොඩක් කරන්න. මගේ ක්ලාස් එකේ එක ළමෙක්වත් ඉන්න බෑ මේවා තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි නේද? I'm going to fix this thing back. හරි නේද ළමයි? Did you copy this one or still drawing? හරිද? done. අනිත් කට්ටියට done කියන තත්පර 20ක් විතර දෙන්නම්කෝ. done. I always repeat you if you need to draw and write and everything using what highlighters and everything. Use 2 books. In one book, write quick notes. In the other book, write slowly. That is the way. Understand? That is the way. Slowly, do it slowly. Later. දැන් roughly ලියාගෙන යනවා ගෙදරදී ලස්සනට අරක ආපහු ලියනවා කොටු කරලා ඉවි ගහලා. Then you write for the second time, you get more practice. මම නම් ඉතින් note ලියන්නේ නිකන් 20ක් වගේ ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ තවමත් එහෙම තමයි. මම නම් ඔය ගැට යන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ගෑනු ළමයින්ට එහෙම ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවනේ. you have that type of problems, but remember that one thing. මම නම් ඉතින් ඔය යකාව පෙන්නනවානේ. I show you the devil. Normally, what happened? Normally in the future lessons, we have to speed up. මට මේ වගේ slowly දෙන්න බෑ. මම නෙමේ කිසිම සර් කෙනෙක්. So you have to increase your writing skill faster. හරිනේ? Okay. Now let's see how to read. Okay. In the vernier scale, I told you how to get the main scale reading. How to get the main scale reading? I told you in the vernier scale, the line which the zero line got past the main scale is the reading on the main scale. That's how I told. Can you remember that? මම එහෙම එකක් කිව්වනේ. මෙතන කතන්දරේ වෙනස්. Here the story is a different one. So this edge of the circular scale you have to take as the what? Margin of main scale reading. මෙතන හරියට වැදිලා තියෙන තැන. ඔහොම කිව්වට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ ඔයාලට. So that is why I made these cardboard slices. This represents you the circular scale. Now I can slide this through. If I stop there, what is the main scale reading? What is the main scale reading is going to be now? Yes. Bad. Not 0 point. Yeah. As පේන විදිය එක එක්කෙනාට වෙනස් වගේ. හරි. අම්මට සිරි සෙනෙත් මා මේ පොයින්ට් එකත් එක්කම කිව්වා කියන්නකෝ. සෙනෙත් මා read the point as well. හරියද? පොයින්ට් එක ගැන දැම්ම worry වෙන්න එපා පුතේ. මේකේ තියෙන 5 ගැන worry වෙන්න එපා. Don't worry about this 5. ඒක හිතන්න එපා. I just only asked you what. හරි. ඕකත් පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙනවා. There is a big problem in there, right? I only asked you to tell me the main scale reading. You included the vernier scale, circular scale reading altogether and tell me the final reading. Doctor කෙනෙක් වෙලා ඔයාලට කපන්න කිව්වේ කකුල නම් මූව දකුණු කකුලත් කපලා පර්සන්ට් එක යවුවොත් හරිද වම් කකුල විතරක් කපන්න දුන්නාම? හරි නෑ. කියපු ඉන්ස්ට්‍රක්ෂන් එක විතරක් කරන්න ඕනේ. If you are an engineer, your chief engineer just asked you to fill up some kind of concrete pillars. Fill all the concrete pillars up to the 50th and stop. Then you fill in as much as you can. You finish up like 75 pillars. He said that for some reason. Why? Because you might need to do something to the other pillars, not to fill this. කඩපංකෝ ඒවා මුල ඉඳන් ආපහු ඊට පස්සේ follow the instructions. In the exam they expect you to follow the instructions. මම ඔය වැරද්දක් නෙමෙයි වල කිව්වේ. වගේ හොඳයි ආන්සර් එක කියපු එක මම හරි සතුටුයි. But I only asked you the main scale reading only. I didn't ask you the micrometer screw gauge reading. අද ඒකත් ඉගෙනගෙන යන්න. So I kept here. So the line mark, just the line got passed by this covering is what 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter, 7 millimeter. The main scale reading is 7 millimeter. Is there anybody who couldn't understand that? Huh? Clear? හැමෝටම clearද? කාට හරි තේරුම් නැත්නම් අහන්න. If there is somebody who couldn't understand, ask me on the spot. හරි මේක මම අර බෝඩ් එකෙත් ආපහු කියලා දෙනවා. මෙතනත් කියලා දීලා යන්න. හරි. Right. Now I'm placing it in a different place. Please let me know the reading of this one. Here. If you want, I can move it closer. Yes. Yes. Amsi, Zenanga, Brinda, yes. Senetma, very good. Understand? Great. It is 16 millimeter. Aned? Go. Tamasa, yes. Hey, Tamasa. By the way, do you know the meaning of your name? Tamasa, I am asking you, do you know the meaning of your name?
No, sir.
It is a Hindi word. In Hindi, Tamasa means drama. You might be a drama queen. Okay, have a good look at. This is different. Why? Have a good look at 1 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter. This is the main scale and the top part. In the bottom part, it replicate what? 0.5 millimeters. Can you understand? This is like 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, like that, 19.5 and 20. Can you understand or do we have to explain you again?
Clear, sir.
Clear, everybody? Is there anybody who
Understood,
can't
sir.
understand? Perfect. Right. I am going to keep this on here. What is the reading? What is the reading of the main scale? Give me a 1 minute. I want to lower this so what is it? 1 millimeter. This is like, what is this now? Yeah, 9 millimeter. Yes. Now I'm keeping it in a different position. What is this going to be? What is this supposed to be? What is this supposed to be? Yes, very good. Very bad. It is very bad. Now right. Opesani right. Senatma right. Brinda right. Brinda wrong. Brinda wrong. Brinda wrong. Because from the 5 millimeter, next, it has gone past this line. The bottom line as well. Bottom line indicates the 0.5. If this is 5, the next 0.5 is 5.5. Have a look at. This is the 10th line. That means 1 centimeter. So the next line is, next bottom line gone past the next bottom line means what? Gone past the next bottom line means what? It is 10.5. Can you understand? Hari. ඔයාලට තේරුම් නැත්නම් මම පොඩ්ඩක් ලොකුවට අදින්නම් ඕක. Let me draw a bigger line. Bigger line. මේ මතක තියාගන්න this bigger lines means 5 and 1 centimeter, like 0.5 centimeter, like that, 5 millimeters. Now I'm going to hold this there. Don't worry about the reading on the circular scale. What is the reading now? 1 millimeter. What is the reading now? What is the reading? 1.5. Okay. Now, shit. Now I'm going to keep this here. What is it? What is it? Yeah, 4.5. Can you understand? Harini? Okay. Now it is time to, I will explain you this everything in that other board. ඊට කලින් පොඩි දේවල් ටිකක් මේකේ කියලා දීලා live board එකේ කියලා යවන්නම් ඉතින්. Now I am going to draw a straight line without bothering about the markings. Now I am going to place this one. Now you want to read the circular scale only. Now you are going to read the circular scale only. Now you have to pay the attention to which line is in contact with the main line. When I make a red tip is like a main line. Whatever the line it is contact, this one, this one, this one, this one, or whatever the line, you have to read that as the reading. Can you understand? Can you understand? Hello, Lamai? Yeah, great. What is the reading it is? Tell me. Wait. Just tell me the line only, line number only. It is like n equals to 5, n equals to 27, n equals to 45, n equals to 49, n equals to 85, n equals to 99, whatever the number only. I need only you to read number only because I will explain you how to take a reading later. You just need to tell me the coinciding line number. Can you understand? Nothing else. You have to tell me the line which is coincided. Okay, this is here now. Tell me which line it is. Closely. What is the line it is now? 5. What is the line it is now? Okay, it can be what? Hari, modala ahaganna. If this is 5, okay, I am going to mark 2 points. One is here, one is here. If this is downward, it can be what? 6, 7. This can be 7. Or in the ascending order. In descending order, it can be 3. In the ascending order, this can be 7. Or descending order, this can be 3. Okay. Horrible, eh? Okay. I want you to read this line. What is that line? Is that 7 or 3? Bottom one, is that 7 or 3? That is why I wanted to show you this thing. I told you, in what direction does it rotate? Anti-clockwise direction or clockwise? It is what? 3 because it has to rotate clockwise. Clockwise means what? If you find in the bigger numbers in the clockwise rotation, this should be the 7th line. This should be the 3rd line. It is really essential to understand. මෙන්න මේ කතන්දරේ තමයි මම අර කිව්ව එඩෙක්සෙල් ළමයා නාලා අපරාධේ 60 out of 60 අරන් වැඩෙක් වෙන්න තිබුණ chance එක නැති කරගත්තා. Can you understand? So see, again I am going to show you again for the one last time. So this is, consider this my finger as the index. See, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. Arne? Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Okay. Now I am going to place this in different values and you have to read. What is the reading now? What is the reading now? 0. What is the reading now? I have a marked on here. It is 50. Maximum is 50. Okay. What is the reading now? Okay. 0 වල ඉඳන් මෙන්න මෙහෙම තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. හොඳට බලන්න. If it is 0, හොඳට බලන්න. 1 above, 49 below, or 1 below, or 49 above. හොඳට හිතලා කියන්න. It is the below line. What is that line? Anti-clockwise rotation. Clockwise means this first number should be 1. Then this automatically becomes 49th line. හරිද? වැරදි උත්තර හෙන්න කොට දෙනෙක් කිව්වා. If you don't understand, ask me again. Can you understand? Yes or no? Yes, ne? Okay, great. Right. ඒ කාඩ් එකත් ගහලා ඉවරයි. මම මේ කාඩ් ගහනවා වගේ වැඩක්. Now, tell me what is this line? Senura, I will explain you privately. Yeah, Senet Ma, Pesani, right? Others? Ammar wrong. Ammar is wrong. මේක හරියට හිතලා ගන්න ඕන එකක් අක්කා. Wrong, Sina wrong. ඔය clockwise කතන්දරේ ඉතින් අරක නෙමෙයි නම් මේකනේ. හරි. ආම්සි වාට ඇස්පෙනීමේ අවුලක් තියෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ආන්ස් එක හරියට හිතලා ඇස්පෙනීමේ පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙන්නේ. Go to the nearest optics dude. Oh my god, it's absolutely wrong, Senura. මාර වැරදි. මේක 13th line. Lucky number 13. මිසු කියනවනේ number එක අවුල් කියලා. හැබැයි 13 තමයි ඔයාලගේ lucky number එක. Why? You face your A level in year 13. Unlucky වෙනවා ගොඩක් දිනේ fail වෙන නිසා. පාස් වෙන එක lucky. Okay. This line is 20. 20th line එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ. What is it now? It can be 22, it can be 18. What is it? Senora right this time. It is 22. ඔය තේරුම් ගන්න ක්‍රමය කියන්නද? ඔයාලම මම ඔය කරා වගේ ප්ලාස්ටික් කාඩ්බෝඩ් තීරු ටිකක් ඇඳ ගන්න. ලයින් එකක් ඇඳලා තිය බලන්න. වෙන මොනා කරන්නද? නේ? හරි. තව ඔයාලට කරන්න පුළුවන් ගෙදරදී කරන්න පුළුවන් වැඩක් තමයි you don't have this type of vernier, sorry, micrometer නේ. Find these type of two again මේ bolt and nut. Find out all the DVD and make this type of structure. මේක අම්මලින් ගාලා අල්ලලා තියෙන්නේ. ඔයාලා මේක නිකන් live experience එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, what does this part similar to? What is මේ part එක මොකක් වගේද? Can you name this part? What is this part is similar to? හරි. කොහොම ඉන්නකො මම ඔරිජිනල් එක තියලා මහන්න. Original one. Compared to the original one, what does it look like? It is the anvil. What is this screw look like? Screw look like in the real part in here. It looks like the spindle. Yes, spindle. What is this entire block look like? Similar to this one. What is it? C-frame. If there was a scale, this is look like what? Pitch scale. What is this look like? The circular scale over here. Then what is this one? Yeah, thimble and ratchet. Neither. මේ වගේ එකක් ගෙදරදී හදලා බලන්න. ඔය අතට තේරෙයි එතකොට. Understand? Shall we get an interval and I will give you a few calculations and in the shared board and you will understand everything perfectly in that. Hane, say yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's get an interval quickly. But don't leave. Let's get it around 15 minutes. 10 past 10. Join back around 10 past 10. Hurry. 10 past 10. Hurry there.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Don't leave, just but okay. Mute and go.